California has another election coming up in about 2 months. Today, the governor used the Bay Area to kick off his campaign to convince you how to vote. CBS 5 political editor Hank Plant with that. Hank?
Yeah, Alan, you might remember the long, drawn-out budget process we just went through in Sacramento. Now, much of what the legislature approved must go to the voters. So the governor has a lot on the line.
This is apart from the revenues.
Here we go again with the governor acting as teacher, trying to convince voters to approve 6 measures on the May 19th special election.
There's 6 budget agreements items that are on the ballot. All those items that are on the ballot are interconnected with one another. Taken together, they are the agreement that ends the current budget deficit and changes our approach to budgets in the future.
As for the governor, he couldn't resist one more jab at the legislature today in pitching his message.
Many of you have pets. In my house, for instance, I have dogs, Labradors, and I'm responsible of feeding them every morning. If I will put out a whole week's worth of food, the dogs will eat it all, and then they will have no food left for the rest of the week. Well, let me tell you something. Food, dog food, tax revenues, it's the same thing. Perhaps it's not a good example because I can see already some smart aleck reporters saying, governor compares legislators with dogs. But I would never do that because I love my Labradors.
Hey guys, Will Durst here. You know, they say a smooth sea never makes a great sailor. Well, if that's the case, our state legislators should be in the next America's Cup race. They've been battling rough seas for months to get a state budget. But no pain, no gain. We finally got ourselves a budget that's going to help get California back on its feet. Yeah, I know, there's something in this budget for everyone to hate, which is oddly its measure of success. The legislature crafted a budget that made deep cuts, but also includes some temporary tax increases to help spread the burden to everyone. It also accelerates transportation projects funded by the bonds we voted for back in 2006. And in a big win, the budget also encourages private investment in our infrastructure through public-private partnerships. This was a rough one, but the state legislature is sort of like me and my wife Debbie, always arguing about money, but in the end, the bills finally get paid. To learn more, log on to rebuildca.org. That's rebuildca.org. Sponsored by the California Alliance for Jobs.
The California budget, a total mess, and we all know it. But we can start doing something about it by voting yes on Propositions 1A and 1B. Because Prop 1A finally controls overall state spending and prevents $16 billion in deeper cuts to education, police, and health care. And when the economy starts to improve, Prop 1B begins paying back some of the cuts our schools have suffered. Protect the priorities that matter most. Vote yes on Props 1A and 1B.
Sacramento's budget mess has already forced departments to lay off firefighters and paramedics. And it could get even worse. Without Props 1A and 1B, we have $16 billion in new cuts coming. Could lose another 24,000 firefighters and police. And you know who that hurts? The people who depend on us.
Log on and get the details on these critical propositions.
We're voting yes on 1A and 1B to prevent further cuts to public safety, control spending, and get California back on track.
Thanks to Sacramento's budget mess, 30,000 teachers have already received layoff notices. It could get even worse. We could lose another 43,000 teachers, see class sizes increase, and more schools close. If we do nothing, we're looking at $16 billion in new cuts. Won't hurt the politicians, just the students who count on us for their education. Yes on 1A and 1B helps protect students, prevent more teacher layoffs, and gets California back on track.
27,000. That's how many California teachers have received layoff notices this year.
Class sizes have increased, programs like art and music have been eliminated, and dropout prevention programs are wiped out.
I'm Paige King. As a parent, I'm worried. California already ranks 47th in the nation in per-student funding. And now education has been cut by $11 billion. On May 19th, you can help by supporting Proposition 1A and Proposition 1B. As the economy improves, Prop 1B will begin paying back some of the cuts to our schools and community colleges. And Prop 1A stabilizes the state budget process to make that possible. So join me in voting yes on Props 1A and 1B. Because in times like these, we have to protect our kids and schools.
Paid for by Yes on 1A and 1B. Repay and protect our schools. Sponsored and major funding by California Teachers Association. Issues PAC.
All right, finally they're getting it. Props 1A and 1B are on the May 19th special election ballot.
Wait a minute. There's another special election coming up on May 19th?
Yeah, there is. Prop 1A is going to help our state budget, and if we adopt Prop 1A, then Prop 1B will begin paying back some of the gigantic cuts that have hurt our schools, when the economy improves, of course.
Okay, I need to take this election more seriously. So a yes vote on 1B will help repay some of the recent cuts to education and get our schools up-to-date textbooks, smaller classes, and rehire some of the teachers that have been laid off?
Yeah, that's right. And Prop 1A helps stabilize state spending and creates a long-term reserve fund to protect against more cuts to schools and children's health care, police and firefighters in the future, too.
So Prop 1B is about helping repay our schools, and Prop 1A will help stabilize our state budget?
Right.
I can vote yes for that.
Paid for by Yes on 1A and 1B. Repay and protect our schools. Sponsored and major funding by California Teachers Association. Issues PAC.
Education shows that more teachers are facing pink slips due to state...
As California unemployment reaches 10%.
Officials warn senior health care could be cut as a result of the growing...
We're hearing more about the impact of California's budget crisis. It isn't pretty. We can bring sanity and stability to our budget process and take away the politicians' blank check in a special election on May 19th. Yes on measures 1A through 1F will help protect against even higher taxes and prevent more cuts to schools, public safety, healthcare, and infrastructure. 1A through 1F gives us short-term revenue and long-term budget stability. Visit cabudgetreformnow.com. See why teachers, taxpayers, business, labor, seniors, firefighters, and police all support 1A through 1F.
Paid for by Budget Reform Now, a coalition of taxpayers, business, labor, educators, public safety, seniors, Jerry Perenchio, and Governor Schwarzenegger's California Dream Team, a ballot measure committee. Yes on 1A through 1F.